afternoon, I'm Shawn Yao, and this is One News Now. Political and business leaders all over the globe speak out against violence in Washington, D.C. Stephen Engel reports on Bloomberg Daybreak Asia.
Well, a lot of world leaders who are condemning it obviously coming out, and also business leaders as well. Not a lot coming yet from the Asia-Pacific region. A lot of this happened in our overnight period, but Asia is now waking up to the scenes in Washington, D.C. We might be getting some statements coming forward, but we are not hearing from the likes of Vladimir Putin or Mr. Bolsonaro from Brazil, widely seen as being more favorable to Trump. But these are the comments we're getting so far from other world leaders. Boris Johnson, in a tweet, called the scenes in the U.S. Congress disgraceful. The U.S. stands for democracy around the world, and it's now vital that we should be, that there should be a peaceful and orderly transfer of power. Now, some of the more striking comments coming from the German foreign minister. He actually referred to the 1933 burning of the German parliament building as Nazism was taking hold. The enemies of democracy will be happy to see these incredible pictures from Washington, D.C., says Heiko Maas. Riotous words turned into violent acts on the steps of the Reichstag and now in the Capitol. The disdain for democratic institutions is devastating. Devastating comments from the German foreign minister there, as well as the NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg. Shocking scenes in Washington, D.C. The outcome of this democratic election must be respected. Wall Street also coming out, and big business leaders. Bank of America's Brian Moynihan calling it appalling. Larry Fink at BlackRock called it an assault on our nation, our democracy, and the will of the American people. And Steve Schwarzman, a Trump ally, of Blackstone, of course. The insurrection that followed the president's remarks today is appalling and an affront to the democratic values we hold dear as Americans. I am shocked and horrified by this mob's attempt to undermine our Constitution. And again, he reiterated the outcome of the election is very clear and there must be a peaceful transition of power. Wall Street also coming out. JP Morgan's Jamie Dimon. Previously, of course, he sat on Trump's advisory council. I strongly condemn the violence in our nation's capital. This is not who we are as a people or a country. We are better than this. And among a long list, I will just add David Solomon, Goldman Sachs CEO, says, for years, our democracy has built a reservoir of goodwill around the world that brings important benefits for our citizens. Recently, we have squandered that goodwill at an alarming pace, and today's attack on the U.S. Capitol does further damage.
Steve, when it comes to China, a country that, of course, insists other countries shouldn't interfere in their internal affairs, I can't really imagine them commenting about what's happening in the U.S., but at the same time, we have U.S.-China tensions. So anything yet?
I wouldn't be surprised that there would be some sort of statement coming from the foreign ministry later today, but it's not going to be along the lines that I just read out. They are not going to be talking about the assault on democracy, especially what happened here in Hong Kong yesterday with a roundup of more than 50 or several dozen pro-democracy supporters here in Hong Kong. In fact, the liaison office here in Hong Kong said the step that Hong Kong police took yesterday is to put Hong Kong back on the right path or the right track. So I'm not expecting much from Beijing. We are yet to hear, though, from the Asian allies like Japan, like South Korea, here in Asia as Asia wakes up.
Former U.S. President Barack Obama directly blamed incumbent Donald Trump for the upheaval in the U.S. Capitol. In a strongly worded statement, Obama said the violence was incited by, quote, a sitting president who has continuously lied about the outcome of a lawful election. Obama said the fantasy narrative of pro-Trump supporters were fueled by a political party that refuses to accept that President-elect Biden will be inaugurated on January 20. The former president challenged Republican leaders to take the first steps toward extinguishing the flames spurred by allegations of widespread election fraud. Here in the Philippines, former Oriental Mindoro representative Reynaldo Umali has passed away from a heart attack. This was confirmed by his brother, Congressman Alfonso Umali. The 65-year-old former lawmaker had fought cancer and was diagnosed with COVID-19 last December. He was the chairman of the House Justice Committee that oversaw the impeachment proceedings against ousted Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno. For more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on the Signal Play app. Register for a free account at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News.